All right, today we're tackling a really common challenge in Drupal theming, one that I'm sure many teams have run into when you're trying to manage a design system at scale. So picture this. Your whole design system is built on these great core components, but now you need just a small variation of one of them, maybe a card component, but with a different background or one extra little field. The main logic is identical, but you need that tweak. How do you do that without creating a maintenance nightmare across your whole site? You know, the usual approach often ends up being a lot of copying and pasting of big configuration files. And that wastes a ton of developer time, sure, but it's also really risky. Every copy-paste you make is a new place where things can break. If you ever update the original component, those changes don't automatically show up in the copies. That's how you get those weird visual bugs, brand inconsistencies, and a design system that just feels fragile and hard to work with. This is the exact problem that the SDC Property Inheritance module was built to solve. It gives you a much smarter, more robust way to handle these component variations without all that risk and overhead. Okay, so to really get how this module works, we need to quickly talk about something called a props schema. The easiest way to think about it is like an instruction manual for your component. It's the definitive list of all the properties or props, like a title, an image, a URL, basically anything the component can accept, and what type of data it's expecting. So here's the catch. By default, Drupal's single directory components, SDC, have a rule. If you create a component that replaces another one, you have to completely copy and redefine that entire prop schema in your new component's YAML file. And that's true even if all you're changing is a single line of CSS. So the magic of this module is how it completely changes that workflow, moving you from that manual, error-prone copy-paste job to a much more intelligent, automated process. Let's look at a really clear before and after to see exactly what I mean. First up, this is the world without the module installed. We've got our replacement component, and to make it work, we've had to go in and manually copy the entire prop schema from its parent. Take a look at those duplicated fields. That whole prop section is just a carbon copy from the original component. It's long, it's redundant, and honestly, it's a ticking time bomb. If the parent component schema ever changes, this file is now out of date, and that can cause bugs that are a real pain to track down. Okay, now let's see what this looks like with the SDC Property Inheritance module turned on. What's really cool is that it all happens during Drupal's discovery process, so you don't have to do anything except change your component file. And there you go. Look how much cleaner that is. The entire prop schema is just gone. The module is smart enough to see that this component replaces another one, and at runtime, it automatically injects the parent schema for you. This means your overrides are super minimal, clean, and they're always going to be in sync with the parent. So we've seen the technical side. It's definitely an improvement. But what does this actually mean for your team day to day? Well, the impact is way bigger than just cleaner code. It really streamlines the workflow for everyone who touches the website. For developers, the win is obvious, right? You're writing less code, you're cutting down on duplication, and you can spin up component variations way faster. For content editors, this means things are more stable. Components are way less likely to break because their definitions are all coming from one consistent source. And for marketing managers, this is all about control. You can guarantee absolute brand consistency because your core components are the single source of truth. And just to really hammer home how seamless this is, this quote from the project page is key. The module doesn't physically change your files on the server. It does all its work transparently in the background, which makes it a really non-destructive and safe thing to add to your workflow. You can now build a robust design system where component variations are simple, safe, and instantly consistent.